I'm Stacy with Stacy's Organizing and Decorating for Life, or stacyforlife.com. I'm here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives. So today our topic is going to be about leveling up. What does that look like in this day and time? We're going to talk about our health and our wealth. If you like that's going to be our topic today, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Last week we left off with how persistence beats resistance. And that goes along with our health and our wealth, because we have to stay persistent to develop our wealth. And then for resistance, we have to be willing to build up our immune system. And actually, everything that goes into our mind, body, and soul is also going into our immune system, because we're going to talk about our cells. Our cells are something we don't really understand or think about too much, but I was doing research. I'm not a scientist, but last week, of course, I researched about how these diseases and viruses have come about in times gone past, and they've gone away, or they've become manageable and able to live happy, productive lives with. But then I watched this one because I'm all about perspectives, right? So this one was a talk by Laura Durgovich off of TED Talk, and it was talking about the evolutionary perspective on human health and disease. And what she shared about in this talk was about how she has, a defect in her from her culture, from where she grew up, that it's just something in her. She was Jewish, so that's something for her culture. So it can come out, though, these things that determine whether we're going to be sick or not sick, and there's more diseases than we even know about culturally, because genetically we can have a genetic inheritance, or it can be culture and history, about what's going to affect our cells or not affect our cells. So some people get sick, with what's going on, and some people are not going to get sick, and some people just need to, steer clear. Because we just don't know, right? Nobody knows until these things happen. And then, that brings about the research, which is what we need to do to level up, is do our research. So if you're looking for a job, I highly suggest you research. And if you're trying to, keep your health up, even the research that's going to be good for your mind, body, and soul, to pay attention, give your energy to those things that are going to be helpful and beneficial to you at this time. So, one of the first things, about staying healthy and well is to keep our immune system up, as I was saying. And I said last week, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist either, but to stay mentally healthy is another thing. So the thing is right now is not to, I told you last week I couldn't sugarcoat things. So the thing is that people are living in the houses with people that are driving them batshit crazy because of this crisis. Some people have lost jobs, and so they've had to change their living conditions, and they're living with people. And, while they may feel like a victim of this person, really they have choices whether to live there or not, but they may not feel like they have a choice at this time. So they get the chance to develop their character, the opportunity to develop their character, and to be able to heal some things that they maybe didn't get to look at and heal before. Because the thing is if you want to prosper when you come out of this and not run into these same issues, because what happens is when we get hurt, we sometimes can continue to keep opening that wound, is that when we have these issues that don't get healed, we manage to manifest it even more so. And that's the problem with these things when they do come along, is it does affect us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And so it gives us a chance to where we can really look at, because we're all in a time of transformation, and a time where we're going to have to develop ourselves in another way, we're in developmental stages. So it's developing a better attitude, so that if we do get out there, when we do get out there, that we can be able to overcome or keep ourselves healthy, because it's been proven that, if we don't have nurturing, if we don't have these things, that we tend to deteriorate, that we tend to decline, and that we tend to constrict. So we want to be able to expand ourselves, and to be able to expand ourselves, we have to do things we never did. That's leveling up. So one of the things is, if you're living in a house with somebody who's driving you crazy right now, is that you need to start working on forgiveness, because that is one of the big prosperity tools. Is every prosperity person that I've talked to said that you have to be able to do forgiveness. Now in recovery, what we say about that is that we pray for the other person when they upset us or piss us off, and then we ask that they, we say, I pray for this person, and then, we say that we want them to have everything that we want for ourselves. And I know that that's hard. A lot of people say, what? are you kidding me? Really? And you don't really have to feel it. It's just being willing. That's the thing, is if you're ever going to succeed in anything, you have to have a willingness, because you're going to have to give up something. And so I don't know if it's ego that holds people on to wanting to stay angry at a person and not pray for a person and not pray for that betterment and to do something they never did. But you have to do something you never did to get different results. And so as long as you keep on, festering that thing, you're going to keep that sore growing and getting bigger and bigger. So the way to neutralize that and the way to heal yourself is to look within yourself. So if you can go off to a quiet place or go outside, do something like that, because sometimes to get out of our mind, we got to get outside. You certainly have to get outside of, the perimeter, because it's not going to serve you. It's not setting boundaries to assassinate another person's character or to be mean or rage-filled at another person. That's just not going to solve anything. And so to be in alignment with yourself, it might, but it's not going to be in alignment with your soul, because our souls are about love and our minds are about fear. So it's to step out and find a balance, because sometimes we do things scared, and most of the time, and what's going on right now, you will be doing things scared. I don't know, I'm not going to try to describe all of that to you. You have your own fears. You're welcome to describe it to me in the comments below. And if I can help you process that, I'd be happy to try to help you process that. But so it's just better if we can do that. I know when people have even treated me mean, I've learned just send them light and love, Stacy, because it's going to take less energy just to send somebody light and love to something I can't change, if they want to be mean. Because some people that don't know me are mean to me sometimes, and it's like, okay. Because that's the thing, is sometimes people just trigger us, and sometimes people will be upset with us that we don't even know, or we'll be upset with people because there's a trigger there that they remind us of somebody we know or something like that. So it's better and takes the power of it, and it's more healing just to pray for them in whatever way, or just send them light and love. Just say, I'm sending you light and love, because I don't know. I can't tell you, you have to use your words. I know that I tell a lot of people to have that obsession removed, because when people piss us off, we sometimes take it on and start obsessing about it. So I know for me, when I'm dealing with people one-on-one, I just tell them, go to the bathroom, pray, and ask to have that obsession relieved from you, to want to, engage in this. Because sometimes people are brought up in a dramatic way. Some people are brought up to be hypochondriacs, too. And so they've been brought up with people being sick all the time. So that's what they develop, too. So just make sure that you get clear within your mind and in yourself. Sometimes you might have to go outside to do that, to find that peace. Because peace is going to be one of the things that keeps your immune system from failing on you. So, and it will also help you aesthetically, because when you get peace-filled, when you're able to remove all that frustration off your face, and I understand we all get frustrated sometimes. When I used to get facials, I used to say, I'm going to go get all the F words off of my face, because there's just what the fuck moments sometimes, and so we all have them. We don't have to react to them, but sometimes we just, and those are moments when we have the opportunity to problem solve. We can just take it on as a victim, or we can start thinking of problem solving. And really, to have integrity to problem solve, you need to wish the other person well, because you don't want to leave burning bridges and stuff like that. So you're going to get further if you can leave with good intentions and good motivation. So if somebody's driving you batshit crazy, if you're wishing them to be happy and yourself to be happy, then that's a win-win situation. If you're wishing somebody else bad, you're also wishing that on yourself. And I know that some of you may not believe that, but it makes sense, because as I said, we are all in this together. So whatever energy you're giving off is going to be an energy that feeds into your cells as well. And so if your cells know that you're wishing that, they don't discriminate. They're going to, kill everybody off, or whatever. Sometimes it makes the other person do better. It just depends. That energy can cause a lot of different effects, and nobody knows. Just like nobody knows if you're, genetically or historically or culturally going to get sick. So we don't know what that energy is going to do. It's just best to send better energy than worse energy. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Another thing that's going to help you, far as that's for your health, and another thing that's going to help you in your jobs, but that will also help you in your jobs, because if you're able to go introspective and able to find a place of peace, it will wear on your face. So when you do go for an interview, if you're interviewing a person who's got furrowed eyebrows and wrinkles around their eyes and things, and their jaws are locked because they're angry all the time, if you're choosing who you're going to have for a job, are you going to choose the person who's able to sit centered and calm and composure, or you're going to choose the person who looks like they're going to get split off in a minute? So just think about those things. So how is this going to serve you? So then we get into our heads, our mind, and how is this going to serve you? So when you're down on another person, chances are, if you go introspective, you realize that you're down on yourself, because maybe they have not even said the things that you think that they're thinking. And this is why a lot of people twist off, is that's what they call a misunderstanding, is they think somebody's saying or thinking something that they haven't even said or thought. So if you go introspective, you can ask yourself if they really did say and really what people think about us is none of our business, honestly. So even if they are thinking something bad about us, if we go into our mind and do our own affirmations, I have had bad thinking before too, and then I had to think to myself, is this the way my higher power would have me think? Is this the way the source would have me think? Is this the way my soul would have me think? Because I believe my soul is connected to the divine, that anything I experience, my soul experiences, and anything my soul is experiencing is going to be a place of love or a place of fear. It prefers to be in the place of love, right? So when I had that bad talk, shitty talk to myself, it's like, would you think your higher power would want you to talk to yourself that way? And the thing is that we talk to ourselves terribly. So if we can change that negative chatter to positive affirmations, that would be a better thing. So that's why I talk to you all the time about the polarities, is so that you can see what you're negatively saying to yourself, and then say that I am the opposite thing. Because if you can be one thing, you can be the other thing, because you can't have that realization. And this is what I mean about our dreams and our goals and our visions and our leveling up. Because if you have a realization of one thing and you start doing that one thing, then you can start doing another thing. So then we're getting into a practice, because the affirmations can become a practice. The forgiveness can become a practice. So we've got forgiveness, we've got affirmations, and now our practice is going to become a practice, because we're going to talk about physically our action, what we're doing. That's our body. So we've talked about our mind, mentally what we're doing. We've talked about our soul. And now we're going to talk about what we can physically be doing, and that's putting forth the action. So every day, if you're putting forth an action, you have no chance of failing. Or even if you do fail, it's not failing. Because when I was mentoring somebody the other day, we were talking, and he said he'd been watching a lot of Michael Jordan. And I'm like, well, Michael Jordan says that the reason he's so successful is because of all the failures he's had. And the same thing when I was looking at Oprah Winfrey the other day. She had all these tips for success and what success means, to people and everything else. But she also says that, because like when you're going out looking for a job, or if you want to get lucky, what she says luck is she says that luck is, because I don't want to misquote it, so I'm getting my glasses. She says luck is, it's a preparation meeting with a moment of opportunity. It's preparation meeting a moment of opportunity. So if you want to get lucky, it's preparation meeting a moment of opportunity. So that's in staying consistent. You got to stay consistent in what you're doing, and that's where perseverance comes in. Because first off, you're going to have the willingness, like we talked about with the prayer, is just having a willingness. And then a habit. The affirmation is your habit. So then you're developing a habit. But then you have nothing to do but persevere. Is once you start applying yourself, okay, you're saying I am. So then once you say I am that thing, then you start doing the things that you've got to do to get to be that thing. Do you understand? Does that make perfect sense to you? So in talking about, sorry about that, but in talking about that, it's exciting to think that you can build, you are developing, you're building, you're persevering, and that's what we're always doing. And once you get into that consciousness, you can do something else. You can't just say, I'm going to be something, and then not do anything. So you have to get up and go do it. And like, even just talking about these videos, is that a year ago, I wasn't doing these videos, and I've just started doing these videos. And at first I started off with 3 minutes, then it went to 5 minutes, and it's up to 10 minutes. And trust me, it's easier to talk to another person than to talk to this. I've had to train myself and to practice talking to this to be able to see through this, to see you, so that I can realize that I'm talking to you. Because thankfully I've gotten the evidence and the precedence, like we were talking about last week, is that people have told me how this has helped them. And so those people that have told me how this has helped them has helped me to be able to see clearer through here, to know that I am talking to somebody, that I am connecting to somebody, because it's always been my goal that if I could help one person. So I'm writing a book. I've never written a book before. I don't know how to write a book. I'm still in my first, the first part of it, to where, the what do they call it? The first, I knew it the other day, but I'm getting tired now. So I'm halfway through, and I don't know how to do these things. I think I'm going to have an editor, and then I'm going to have a publisher and all of this. But the thing is that I'm taking classes of people who've done this. So I'm having to learn what they did to do what they did, and so it's not important to me if my book is I listen to people who've written books before, like Liz Gilbert. She says, don't write a book for the money. She's just write it for the experience. Write it for if it's going to help somebody. And that's why I'm writing the book for, it's a guide, really. And it's my first one. So I'm writing it to help people. And then, the next thing is once I've written one, I know how to write a book, right? But that's the thing is that we do these things in little things. And so I don't know how to edit these videos, as I was telling my friend. And so we were joking, because she says, well, such and such could edit it for you. I said, well, I think I'm preparing myself. And I said it flippantly, but you never know. I said, I think I'm preparing myself for a TED Talk, because, before I know it, I'm going to be up to 20 minutes being able to talk on one of these things, because this is the first time I've been able to talk like this without any interaction. As I've talked for people before, but I've been able to see their faces and stuff like that. So I've learned how to talk and see past this to your faces from the people who I get feedback from. And so I thank you very much for that I'm able to come and touch somebody's life with this thing. So I hope that that's been helpful, because that's the next thing, is that if you can be of service, those are the things, is there's forgiveness, and then there's the, affirmation and embodying it, making it a habit. And then there's the, persistence. You just keep on and on and on to where you persevere. But it also being of service, because if you can get out of yourself, once you're able to just walk away, get out of yourself, go help somebody else. That's another thing we learned in recovery, is just go help somebody else to get out of yourself. Then that is being of service, and that's helping, somebody feel better about themselves. And so you can't help but feel better about yourself when you help somebody else feel better about themselves. And I know right now is a trying time, but even if you just give somebody a phone call that wasn't thinking about it, and just say, hi, how are you doing? And don't tell them about your problems. Don't, you can if they're open to that, but to listen to somebody else, to actively listen to somebody else, to be able to get out of yourself is very, very helpful. Whatever you can do to help somebody else will be helpful to you too, because we are all in this together. So if you're able to get out and somebody else is not able to get out, if you could take them something, and have an agreement with them about the Lysol thing or what have you, and let them know if you have it or not, and if you're going to spray it down and all of that. I don't know about all that, but just be willing, that willingness to start. And it starts off in little increments, and before you know it, it builds up to big increments. And just watch people that you want to aspire to be like. If you want to be a writer, then you need to watch writers and see what writers do. If you want to do videos, you have to watch the video people. But trust, they didn't just make a video and become like that. They had to practice making videos. And if they want to help people, you have to see how people that help people. And most of those people had struggles. They decided to help people because they were struggling. That's like Tony Robbins not having the Thanksgiving dinner is why he chooses to help people. And, Lisa Nichols helps people because of her struggles as a single mom. She helps teenagers and stuff like that, and to embody different things. There's people that help people because of their own struggles. And so whatever your struggle is if you can come out of it and you do those things, those base things, there's more to it than that. I would be able to make more videos if I told you everything all at once. Besides, I'm still learning. That would take a longer video, and we're up to 20 minutes almost. So I'm still growing. So I hope this has been helpful once again. I hope you're able to do something different that you've never done before, because you're going to get different results if you do something you've never done. And it's unfortunate that right now, a lot of people are not in their comfort zones. So while you're not in your comfort zone, you're forced to develop yourself and to create yourself and to do something different and to just be kind to yourself. And like I say, if you need to reach out to me, I'm stacyreinick@gmail.com. Or you can contact me on Facebook. It's just Stacy Reinick. And I look forward to touching base with you again next week. And I'll look forward to your feedback. And I hope that you all have a great weekend. And I will talk to you next week. Peace. Bye.